Hey everybody, Martika here, and today I am bringing you with me to Half Price Bookstores. I don't know if this is something that's nationwide, but I know quite a few states and cities do have a Half Price Books. So I am going in here to look at some sewing books to see what they have in their collection. For those of you who may not know about Half Price Bookstore, they are a store where you can get brand new books where they have like overstock from other stores, and then also books that they carry that may be used where people donate, and then you can also donate books and things. So I'm going to go in here. We're going to take a look at some sewing books and see if they have anything that I can use. So let's go. It is pretty windy out here today as we go into Half Price Bookstores, but we're going to get in here really quick. If you are new to this channel, I did not welcome you, so welcome, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you stay to the end and subscribe if you have not. Okay, so your sewing is usually found in your craft and hobby section. Okay, you guys, so as you can see, we are in the sewing section, and there are many books to choose from, a lot of which I do not have at home. And I tell you, it's always like a treasure hunt, you know, when hunting for things that you don't already have that you know you can use. Just to give you an idea, these are some of the type of books you can find. Sewing for special occasions, if that is your niche. And then for those of you who are new to working with your sewing machines, here's a step-by-step guide to your sewing machine. All type of books like that. The Idiot's Guide to Sewing. You know, they have a book for everything just about. And here's one. Sewing Techniques and Patterns. You'll see a lot of books like these in Half Price Books to help you get going, you know, on your sewing journey if you're just starting out, and to refresh you if you are not new to this. Sewing for Dummies, they have books for everything too. Lots of fun stuff here, and I actually have a couple of books in my hand that I know that I am taking home, and I will show them to you shortly. So as you know, I went to Half Price Bookstores today, and I did pick up a couple of the books that I did see. And I also want to share with you a few more sewing books that I have in my little sewing library. And like I've stated before, I just think that it's just so important that you have books that you can help yourself with when you're in a slump, or if you just want to educate yourself a little bit more. So the first book that I picked up that I saw today was this one called The Complete Book of Sewing Shortcuts by Claire Schaefer. And I really liked the contents of this book, because I think that it has a lot of things that can help me as far as, you know, helping me get a better understanding of a lot of things that I may be having a few issues with. But the main thing that caught my eye in here was the metric and equivalency chart. That is on page 8 here. And the reason why I like this is because a lot of patterns that are out there, well, maybe not a lot, but there are a couple of patterns that I know from pattern companies that measure their patterns in meters instead of yards. And you know, I personally, I understand yards, but I don't know a lot of the breakdown. So by having this equivalency, this metric equivalency chart, I think this will be very helpful, something that I can definitely copy and carry around in my purse for if I need help with anything. They even have like zipper lengths, you know, that's measured out in centimeters versus inches, you know, if you're looking for a certain length, and inches into millimeters and centimeters. I mean, it just breaks everything down. And there are definitely a few more chapters in here that I thought that would be very helpful for me. Lots of definitions in the glossary. So there are a lot of words, in the sewing world that you may or may not understand. I know myself, some of them I have to look it up to see what they're talking about. So this is going to help tremendously. No color, in this book is really for learning, for just getting better in what you're doing and just teaching you a lot of different shortcuts in the way that you do things. So I think that this will be really helpful in that area. Now, the other one that I bought today was the Singer book, and it was Sewing for Style. And you guys, these are not brand new books, but it doesn't matter. They don't have to be new because a lot of the older books is what really, really helps. And what I really like about this book is that I'm a visual person and this book is just full of color, you guys. Everything in here is so detailed. And what I really, really like about this is that they have a lot of the things of what, we sew up in the fashion world every day. Pockets, and there's one about sleeves. I know there's a chapter in here about yokes. Here's a chapter about cuffs. There's the yoke chapters. I mean, they talk about buttons and everything. And again, this is not a new book, but it's going to be very, very helpful. So when I see things like this, I go ahead and pick it up because this is a great book to sit down with at night, have you a cup of tea, wine, coffee, whatever you want, and just sit back and read and just kind of study and brush up on your skills. So now those are the books that I picked up today, but I want to share with you some of the books that I already had in my library that have really been helpful to me. Some of them I've really gotten into, some I still have to get into. One of them that I have really gotten into and that I'm actually into right now is this book right here. This Pants for Real People. You guys, this book is so detailed in talking about how to get the perfect fit for pants. It is absolutely amazing. And just going through these different books and taking notes or highlighting, if you know it's something you're going to keep, it's just amazing to have. So getting the right size, I know a lot of people have, especially starting out, may have a lot of fitting issues, with pants and shorts, things like that. And it does get a little tricky, to get the right fit because, hey, none of us are built like those patterns. So the sizing in them. So there usually has to be some adjustment somewhere when you are trying to get the right fit in your pants that you're making. So this is a very, very detailed book and a book that I know that I will always use. And like I said, what I'm using right now. Another book that I have gotten into is this one here, Fit for Real People. Sew great clothes using any pattern. And this is a great one to get into also. And very, very detailed as far as getting the right fit for, what you're sewing and the patterns, chapters like, but the pattern doesn't come in my size. And what about ease and make a body map, tissue fitting, fit as you sew. I mean, just great, great, great information, you guys. So that is another one. And this one and the Pants for Real People, both of them are by Patty Palmer and Marta Alto. So those are who those two books are by. Now, this book, Sewing for Plus Sizes by Barbara Deckard. This is a great one, you guys, because a lot of us who may not be considered plus size in the retail world, in the sewing world, we would be considered plus size due to the sizing that we have to cut our patterns from, or do our fitting from, because, sewing and buying in the store are two different things. So, in some areas you may need a little help with adjustment. You may need to grade out a pattern piece, or you may need to adjust the bust area and the whole 9 yards. And that's what this book is all about. And it's very, very helpful. So this is a great book to have also. Now, another book that's really, really great to have, you guys, is the Complete Book of Sewing Oh my gosh, this book is a really great one to have. It's a practical step-by-step guide to every technique. Now, there is an old version of this. This is the newest version of it that I have seen, and this is by Dorleen Kinserly, that publishing company. And it's just an amazing book to have, you guys. It goes through just like one of the other books, the first one I showed you. It goes through everything, not so much shortcuts, but it teaches you just how to do just about everything, even like gathering for smocking, you know, in this book. Just cord elastic shirring, you know, it's just amazing, all of the things that you can just learn how to do by just taking your time and going through these books, learning things one at a time. You know, I don't dig into what I'm not doing yet or what I'm not interested in yet. So it just makes it easier for me to learn, you know, when I'm only paying attention to what I need at the time. Now, this particular book my daughter had, she used to be in the fashion design program and at the community college here, and she has some amazing books. And so this is one that I kind of borrowed from her that I really do like going through, and it's the Professional Sewing Techniques for Designers. And it too is a great book to have. It talks about fabrics. It talks about the dress form. It talks about measurements. It talks about just a little bit of everything. It talks about your pressing equipment. It talks about fit, you know, pants that don't fit, you know, how to fit them. It just talks about a little bit of everything, teaches you how to stretch your creativity, you know, when sewing. Basically, I think of that as pattern hacking. You know, we do a lot of that for us who sew with a lot of patterns. So this is a great book, you know, to have if you're going into the more advanced world. Definitely a lot of information inside here. Now, the last book I'm going to show you is another one that my daughter had from her courses, and that is Draping for Apparel Design. And this is by Helen Joseph Armstrong. And this book is all about draping. And this book is basically what I'm getting ready to dig into to get some more insight on draping, because inside the Sew It Academy with Mimi G, I am getting ready to go into the draping course. That is my next course that I am taking. And it's just going to help me not only following instructions there, but being able to read on it and learn more about it outside of the course itself. It's just going to help me even the more. So this is a great one to have also. Now, all of these books I've shown you, you know, you may be able to find them in your local bookstore. You know, look for them used if you can. You may be able to find them off of Amazon. You may be able to get them online. They even have online used bookstores, you know. So go there, go to these different places, you guys, and look for the books that you need. Don't get them just because other people have them. But if you know that there is something that you really need to focus on, like pants fitting, for instance, you know, or just getting an overall great fit for yourself, go ahead and take a look at some of these used bookstores. If you do have a half price bookstore in your area, start there. They have great prices. As you can see, I only paid $5.99 for this book, you guys. You know, that wasn't the cost brand new for a Singer Sewing book. And then I only paid $7.48 for this book here. We all know that this book was much more than that. So just be very strategic in what you get for your library. Make sure it's what you're going to use. And when you're done with it, donate it back or sell it to somewhere where you can get a little money back on it if you choose to. But I just wanted to share this with you. I hope it's been helpful. If you have started your own library, let me know in the comments. If you still have yet to start your library, let me know in the comments, and let me know which books that I've shown you may have caught your eye, or which books that you think that you need help with and that you're going to go out and seek out. So if you have not subscribed, go ahead and do so. Definitely give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great one, you guys. Bye-bye.